Welcome back. Today I find myself in a nearby park that has a walking track around it. And I actually found it last week sometime just to find a place to exercise and kind of getting into my health a lot. Besides skateboarding is like one of the main things I do to keep up with my health because it's a lot of intense activity with the skateboarding. But I wanted to find a little walking track to jog around and just keep my cardio up. And it's like a mile long, so it's like perfect. But then as I'm jogging on this track, I find out that it veers off in a few ways to these wooded areas, like it's wooded all around it, and like there's these little trails. And so I thought this was the coolest thing, you know. And then not too long after that, I started making YouTube videos, and then today this place pops into my mind is like, oh, perfect place to record I want to say music video. It would be cool for that too, but it's a perfect place to record a YouTube video, and so I took the chance, and now I'm here. So, for the topic I want to talk to you about today was one that I wasn't gonna first go off. I wasn't gonna go with this topic earlier today when I was thinking of what to make a YouTube video on. I had a different topic altogether, but I ended up running into an old friend in town today while I was at work, and now this friend, little backstory. He's been living in a different state than me for the last 4 years, right? But even before that, we haven't been close friends. We were friends in high school, at the end of high school, 2010 time, and 2000 up to like 2014, maybe 2015. We were we were kind of close. We hung out. He came to my house a while. He came to my house every few times, and we got to know each other pretty well. But then we kind of just grew apart. Like things happen, like that usually happens. Life happens. And so, no big deal. He had his own path, I had my own path, and we just split. Now, to say that too, I had nothing against him. We just didn't see eye to eye on things, and energetically we were totally off from one another. We were just going down different roads. And he did his own thing, I'm doing my own thing. Well, I see him today, and I'm in my work truck where I'm working at currently, and I see him, and I'm like, well, that looks like him. I said, my friend. I'm not gonna say his name, but so I turn the truck around. Mind you, I'm in a big box truck. I turn it around in this little parking lot, and I go up to him, and him and his mom's walking away, and I roll the window down, and I yell, "Hey, so and so." I'm not gonna say his name, like I said, but and he finally notices that someone's calling his name. He turns around, and he's looking at me, and I tell him who I am. No, I don't even tell him who I am yet. He's looking at me. I'm like, "Hey, man, what's up? How you been?" And he's like, "Good. Who are you?" You could tell that he had like total confusion in his face. And so I told him who I was, and then you could finally see the lights come on up here. He's like, "Oh," he's like, "Dude, you look totally different. I couldn't tell your face and all." So he comes up to me, and he talks to me for a few minutes, and he tells me how he just moved back. He was been gone from the state of Louisiana. I live in Louisiana. He'd been gone for 4 years. He had his girlfriend. He was doing his own little thing out there work wise. Yeah, and everything was going good, so he kind of fell in love. You get it? So, but then he tells me his girl cheated on him with his boss, and that things went bad, and he just kind of had to move back home, and he wanted to, which I understand. And so, but all things considered, that's the main thing I want to touch on is his girlfriend cheated on him, and so that made him move back. And of course, I was like, well, sorry to hear that, of course. And we talked for a little while longer, and then I told him, man, I'll hit you up, and maybe we can link up and catch up. And so that was the end of it, but it spurred the idea for this video. And so he's my muse, in a sense, and he's never going to know this unless he finds these videos later on, right? But he was practically my muse for this video, because when I thought about the whole thing of his girlfriend breaking up with him, and I know how that feels to have because he was in love with her, you could tell, they had that puppy love going on, and just seeing it from social media when I was on it. I'm not on it anymore as much, but and so, excuse me, it made me think, it was like when he told me that, I wasn't happy that they broke up because that would be like terrible. If you're, why are you? I haven't seen you in forever, and I'm happy that you and your girl broke up. No, that's not it. But it's like when he told me that happened, and I could see in his eyes, I could just see in his energetic field that everything wasn't right, and he was going through it. And in a way, I'm kind of like to myself, I'm like, well, good, because, and let me explain. Because a lot of people hear that and say, good, what you mean good? That's kind of, I come off as calloused or whatever, and I don't want it to be like that. Because I do come at it with 100% empathy and compassion for what he's going through. And why? Is because I went through the same exact thing in my life. And when that happened, it was a catalyst for where my journey went and where I'm at now. And my spiritual journey blossomed out of that, out of a relationship, out of a few relationships, to be quite frank with you. One in particular, but it was from the love that I put into a relationship and it not working out and it ending badly, for something to finally just break in my mind, where it was like, what's going on here? I can't seem to keep these relationships, even though I put my all into them. And even if they last years, they don't last. And I feel like I'm finding the people that are my, people who I want to spend the rest of my life with. At the time, is what I was thinking, right? That's my mindset. That's my train of thought. But obviously, life had other ideas for me, and that wasn't my direction in life. Or at least those weren't the people for me, and it took a while for me to understand that. It took the one relationship that I said, it was a few relationships, but it was the one that was the true catalyst for my spiritual growth and understanding as a person. And that's why I say good that he had that, because I can look from an outside perspective and see, okay, puppy love, that's fine. Like, enjoy that. That's made for you too. This is part of your journey. But also, I don't think you two are, necessarily soulmates. And I don't know if that's even a true thing for a man and a woman, or a man and a man, or a woman and a woman. I just don't think, if you're really being honest with yourself, I don't think relationships work like that, if you're honest with yourself. Because I think a lot of relationships that you look at nowadays is mostly bondage. There's not really a unconditional love factor there. But for him to go through that, it is good on a level, from a perspective, and I'll tell you why. Because he can use that breakup, he can use the pain, he can use the error around that as catalyst for his growth, if he allows it, because it hurt and pain. It's like consciousness telling you, that relationship you have with that person isn't who you are. And you are a main reason why that relationship worked. Of course, I'm not saying nothing about the other person, and they could be a great person. Obviously, she cheated on him, so she's not the greatest person, But if you just look at it from the perspective of, what is life trying to show me here? What am I here to learn from this? That can aid you so much in where you want to go. And just aid you so much in personal growth, like it's ridiculous. Because I've seen it in my own self. Usually, that's what happens, because we get blinded by these relationships that we think are supposed to last forever, and then when they end, it's like our world is crumbling down, and we don't know what to do. We kind of lose our identity in a way. But for me, all of that just made me go into who the hell am I? Who the hell am I really? Why are these things happening? I just want to know myself more. And then through that self-knowledge, the accumulation of self-knowledge birthed, at least to some extent, self-knowledge, self-realization. And it made me stronger because of it. It made me stronger on the other side, And so we didn't talk much about this, but if we ever do hang out, maybe these themes will pop up, and maybe this discussion will go even further with him, But yeah, him saying that to me was like, yeah, it resonated with me because I've been through it, I've been through it, and like I said, good that it happened, because You can move on from this, and life can bring you beautiful things that you thought was never imaginable, you know, that because you couldn't see it in the relationship you were in. But once you realize you are the operant power, everything comes from you. The love you put in that relationship, it's coming from you. You know, the love is coming from you. You think the other person, and you know, when you're in it, you think the other person is your source of that love. But no, the love is coming from you. It can come from both, but you are a main component of that because you are you. You're not them, you're you. And so your happiness and your joy and your love, it's not coming from someone else. It's coming from inside of you. And you can't understand that. You can't figure that out until maybe a relationship ends, especially if it's a serious one. One that you, at the time, like I said, thought was the real deal, you know. That's like prime for growth. But yeah, we'll keep this one short. You know, on my ride here, and I feel like I had more that I was gonna say, but then you press the camera, you bring the camera on, you press record, and then things don't get said, things get said, but it's whatever. This is what I wanted to talk about today, and so yeah, let me know in the comment section, you know, if you see this, that if you've gone through a relationship or a breakup, maybe a nasty breakup, and you've come out the other side better because of it, with more understanding of who you really are and what your purpose is on this earth. I'm not saying everyone's going to find their purpose after a breakup, but I think when you put so much of yourself into a relationship and then for it to end, and then you question yourself so much, and if you're willing to dig deep enough, you're going to learn more about yourself, yes, but I think your purpose as a being on this planet becomes a little clearer as well, because that's just the way life is, you know. That's just the way this game goes, and sometimes you gotta learn the hard way, you know. Through the darkness will come the light, so there can't be no darkness without light. So hope you all had a great day. It's been really cold here. It's gonna be cold here all week, and I'm fine with the coldness, but it's chilly. I'm a southern boy at heart, man, so I get cold real easily. As you see this nice wool jacket. I had some friends call it a drug rug, and I thought that was funny, you know. But yeah, hope you all had a good day, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.